you must be very happy, Glenn Hoddle.
Yes, I think, a win for Chelsea, always good in the bank there. But I think overall, I think they just shaded it. I think they deserved to win it in the end. Liverpool were always in the game, as we said, but it was a strange game today. In that second half, it was like whoever was in possession, it felt like they had 11 against 10. And then when Liverpool got possession, it felt like they had 11 against 10. It was sort of, they were everywhere. There was so much space to play in. And in the end, it was Chelsea that got that little bit of a chance, and they created it really well. Liverpool's chances, I felt, were coming off mistakes of Chelsea when they give the ball away and they broke on them. Whereas I think Chelsea sort of carved their chances open. They did it themselves. And, in all, it was for an entertaining game, but both managers wouldn't be particularly happy.
And Chelsea ended up doing to Liverpool what Liverpool have been doing to other clubs, scoring late. Talk us through the goal from Estevao. It was a great moment for him.
Yeah, it was a fantastic moment for him. And you know what? There's been a couple of crosses today where there's no one been on the back post, but the way he covers it was really good because he waits his time. Cucurella again not being picked up by anyone. I think that he's been left. Once he goes in, look at Estevao now. He's out of sight, and now he's made a real dart to that back post to make sure it doesn't go across there, because that's what you're meant to do. The winger's meant to, when a ball's coming across, that ball should never go across through the back of that play, and he's done well there. Got on the back of Andy Robertson and got his goal, and he came on and done very well.
If you look at Andy Robertson again here, we're
look at Salah
here.
All
day he's done that. He's let Cucurella get forward on his own too many times, and in the end they paid the price. But on the back post there, Andy Robertson there hasn't once. He got square on for an experienced fullback. When the ball's down the other side, he's got to have a glance, he's got to have a look, he's got to be aware where Estevao is. Didn't see him whatsoever because he was closed off, he was squared up.
Well, it was tired legs at the end because of the end-to-end nature of the game. But the situation that kept arising on that left-hand side for Liverpool and Salah's lack of tracking, it would be fascinating to sit down with Arne Slot and say, look, how much freedom do you give him to not have to do that? Because at the moment, that system, especially playing a 10 and not having that extra midfielder behind Salah, is causing Liverpool big problems.
And the thing as well with that team, what will happen is that the boys will know, the players themselves will know that, listen, Gaff, at some stage you're going to have a word with him because we're getting dragged all over the place. If he's not going to come back and help us, it's going to cause us problems, especially away from home.
OK, well, let's head straight back to Stamford Bridge and hear from one of today's goal scorers, Moisés Caicedo.
Well, Moisés, there is nothing like a last-minute winner. Is that the best possible way to win a football match?
Yeah, for sure. It was a fantastic goal at the end. So, everybody was happy, and, now we are so happy.
I think we thought once they equalised and you had a couple more players go off through injury that it would be Liverpool pushing for the win. What was it within the group that made you go again after their equaliser, and actually, even before you got the goal, you were the team pushing?
Yeah, for sure. Liverpool, everybody knows Liverpool. Liverpool is a fantastic team, so we did our best, even when they push us. So we were so good at the end.
Do you think somehow the injuries you've had, the problems in the last few weeks, like the red cards, the results, somehow that's brought you closer?
Yeah, even closer, because that's the moments we need to be even closer. So the team was good, working hard every day. So now we show that on the pitch.
And why is it with you that every goal you score, except maybe that one at West Ham, which was a bit more simple?
It was a great goal also.
Why is every goal a goal of the season?
To be honest, I don't know. God is perfect, everything is for him. So I had the opportunity to shoot and I did it. Yeah.
And did you know, was it one of those, the second you hit it, you start celebrating, you don't even need to see it hit the net?
Yeah, for sure. When I shot, I knew the ball is gonna go in. So it was a fantastic goal.
And we remember a couple of summers ago, you could have been red, you could have been blue, you had the choice to make. So was the goal and is the win even more special because it's against Liverpool?
No. It was a great goal, but nothing for Liverpool. I'm here, enjoying here, so I'm doing so well. That's the most important.
should I let you go and celebrate with your teammates and give you this Player of the Match award first?
Thank you very much.
Well played.
And a well-deserved Player of the Match award there, because he was fantastic. He's been outstanding, actually, this season. 3 goals in 7, and his goal was pretty special today, wasn't it, Glenn?
Oh, it was special, wasn't it? Beautiful. I mean, it doesn't matter any game of football, even if it's Sunday morning, that top corner goal, when it's hit like that, it's just special, isn't it? Yeah. This is a lovely first touch from him. There's space to eat up. He eats it up. He sets himself beautifully, and it goes in like a rocket. Yeah. Beautifully struck across the ball, and really, really fabulous goal.
Yeah, that's the Liverpool players following the ball and leaving that space. Struggled today, I think, with the rotation of Chelsea and the problems down that left. There was lots of space, unlike the team of last season, and what a goal. I mean, the centre-halves, yeah, we could question that. I mean,
we've got to say the goal, haven't we?
Ultimately, that is a strike that very few people would stop. And he's been terrific, Caicedo. He deserves great credit because he started quite slowly his Chelsea career. And he's become their best player.
Do you think that... Sorry, Ian.
No, I was just going to say, it's just, I love when it hits the net. It's not dipped in, he's that way real clean. That's
it's clean, yeah.
Clean strike. You can tell the ball's not spinning too much. He's caught it perfectly. We have to give him credit for that.
Yeah, I think they suffered a little bit when Fernandes and him couldn't play together. A lot of Chelsea fans friends of mine go every week and they watch, and they said he's not the same player as he was at Brighton. And slowly but surely, they've released Fernandes a little bit further up the pitch, and he's sort of gone, oh, right, this is my domain. Yeah. I'm going to look after this. This is what I normally do. He's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant on the ball and off the ball.
Do we have to credit Chelsea as well, given the fact that they've had so many injuries? I think 9 injuries, or 8 injuries, plus a couple of suspensions as well. But to have so many players out and to still be able to beat Liverpool is something.
Yeah, because Liverpool are the champions, and they proved that last season how good they were. I know it's a different team he's got now. But, like, you have to say that Chelsea get a lot of credit simply because you could see that it's a Liverpool side that you can get at. There's spaces, there's holes, there's players not playing very, very well. They've not quite gelled. I don't think the fullback situation with Liverpool is an upgrade on what they had before in respects of Andy Robertson and Trent. I think that's something that they're going to miss, in respects of the Kirkes and maybe Frimpong, what's going to happen. So that once they get that sorted, the midfield at some stage, you have to feel at the moment it's not quite working with what's going on. Salah, with his lack of tracking back and, up front, Isak's got to get himself going. Wirtz has got to get... So there's a lot of things that still need to boil up properly in the pot, and so they can start doing what they need to do.
But Arne, obviously, desperately disappointing to lose, and disappointing to lose in that manner, in that moment in the game as well. But what about the performance that went with it, the underlying performance that your team gave? What did you make of that?
I think there were 2 very good teams on the pitch today. First half, unfortunately for us, their first chance and the only chance they had in the first half, if you can look at that as a chance, it's a shot from 20 yards. Goes into the top corner. We created 3 open chances. Milos, Dom and Alex with the header. But I felt the game was equal. Maybe in ball possession they were a bit stronger than us. Second half we started off really well. It wasn't a surprise to me that we scored the 1-1. I think in that period of time I felt as if we could go 1 up. And the last 10 to 15 minutes it was an end-to-end game, if you say, as you say it over here. So it just goes both ways. And we had chances to win it, they had chances to win it. And in the end, again, we concede in the last second goal.
It's something you mentioned in your press conference on Friday, actually. For so long, for so many months, you've been on the right side of the margins, and suddenly you find yourselves on the wrong side of those margins. What are the little things? Is that confidence, form? What are the little things that have suddenly turned these tight games against you?
No, first of all, the opposition we face. So last season we lost against Chelsea as well. So going away here at Stamford Bridge is always a difficult team to play against. But we were, in my opinion, I think we were, I can safely say this, very close to a result. So yeah, small margins. As I said, Galatasaray, we go 1v1 to the goalkeeper, we miss, they get a penalty. Conceding in the last minute a set piece in the extra time against Crystal Palace. And today, just in a normal extra time, they scored a goal where it could have gone either end.
Arne Slot, clearly, of course, disappointed. Liverpool now sits 2nd in the table as we head into the international break. Danny, I just wonder, from your perspective, What is it? What is it that's missing from Liverpool, especially in these last 3 games, in all comps where we've seen defeat after defeat after defeat?
Well, I think it's a mixture of things. The most obvious one over those 3 games that I've seen is the lack of composure and control that they were renowned for last season. I think there's certain players who are off it, the form that we saw last season. Some of the new ones haven't hit the ground running. That final bit in the last third, when they're actually getting into good areas, decision-making's not great. There's been some poor finishing. And I think, you know, defensively, they're more stretched. They seem a bit more imbalanced. Maybe that's trying to fit in the new players. Maybe there's so many things. There's a lot to improve on this team. There are every football match is won and lost on small details. Liverpool could have nicked that today, and I said to the lads earlier, if they had, it would have hidden some frailties. Because playing that cavalier way of football, it was chaotic in the second half. And Slot doesn't like that. He didn't talk about it there. But playing that way means that you can win and lose week to week and be 3-3, 4-3. That's not what they were last season when they won the league. Well, so there's room for improvement, basically.
When he came in last year, that was everyone was talking about, the difference from Klopp and Slot coming in was the composure, the possession that they had. They controlled games. They're nowhere near it. In the last 3 games, they're nowhere near it. So this is a big test for them now. They've got Man United next at home. It's a home game, big rivals, obviously. That is a massive game for them because if they were to lose that, then there's big question marks. But you can't play like that and be so open. And the manager even said the last 20 minutes, well, we could say like the second half was like a basketball game. It was too open.
Do you think he did that because he felt he could win it? Because we could see, he obviously knew he could have shored it up, put an extra defender on. He could have changed the system.
Well, he put Endo on. I won't be surprised if Endo doesn't come into the team at some stage and you sit a midfield player and then everything else around him. Because if they're that open, they can't win the league playing like that. They really can't.
Is this what happens, though, when you do have changes and you do have an influx of new players coming into the side? Does it take time for the team to gel? Because they're getting used to a new way of playing, especially with Wirtz in the side.
Well, but at the same time, we're talking about the champions, a quality team with bolting on quality players. Talking about Isak and Wirtz coming in. Caicedo was very, very good. At Bournemouth, we've seen Frimpong, where he's, was it Borussia? Leverkusen. So they brought in very good players, and what's got to happen now is that they've got to gel. And the fact is, when you're the champions, it's got to happen quickly. They have to get some kind of rhythm, you know, some momentum. And because we thought they had it when they were winning games because they're so good. But at the same time, you're seeing when you really dig into it, like you see the frailties of it, like no tracking back, poor final balls. And things, you're going to get hurt in the league.
They were scoring so many late goals. So many late goals. It was weird. Take a couple of them away and take them points away, then they wouldn't... Actually, it's probably a true reflection today
of what Liverpool have been.
Liverpool are at the moment.
I think it's worth saying as well, and you'll know as a manager, Glenn, is that he didn't want to have 6, 7 new signings and try and have to integrate them. Some of the players Liverpool lost, Trent wanted to go. Diaz wanted to leave, wouldn't sign a deal. The tragedy of Jota.
Yes.
You know, some of these situations weren't him going, I want all these new players. It's like, we've got to replace the ones we've lost.
It evolved.
Then you had your own couple as well. You're looking at 5, 6 new players, trying to integrate them into a group after losing some really big characters. It was probably unrealistic for us Liverpool fans to think it was going to go smoothly, to be honest.
That's actually a really good point when you think of it from that perspective. And that said, considering they've been on the edge, had to score quite a few late goals, still second in the Premier League table. It's not no time to panic,
7,
right?
8 games in, so it's fine. It's Liverpool. They'll be back.
They'll be fine. Does the international break, do you think, come at the right time for them?
Good time.
Yeah.
Players go off, new scenery, new set of ears, and come back maybe fresh. Some of them who don't play as much. I think it's good timing, actually.
You know, Liverpool, everybody knows Liverpool. Liverpool is a fantastic team, so we did our best, even when they push us. So we were so good at the end.
Do you think somehow the injuries you've had, the problems in the last few weeks, you know, like the red cards, the results, somehow that's brought you closer?
Yeah, even closer, because that's the moments we need to be even closer. So yeah, the team was good. We are working hard every day. So now we show that on the pitch.
Going away here at Stamford Bridge is always a difficult team to play against. But we were, in my opinion, I think we were, I can safely say this, very close to a result. So yeah, small margins. As I said, Galatasaray, we go 1v1 to the goalkeeper, we miss, they get a penalty. Conceding in the last minute a set piece in the extra time against Crystal Palace. And today, just in a normal extra time, they scored a goal where it could have gone either end.
Well, it was a huge win for Chelsea, and we'll come on to them in a moment. But from a Liverpool perspective, how disappointed were you, Danny?
I think disappointed in the fact that the last two games have been lacklustre and expected a reaction. The second half, you could argue they had a good go and they committed men forward and took some risks. But the first half was a bit tepid. There was a bit of lethargy still, a bit of nervousness. There wasn't a bravery in their play. I mean, Chelsea weren't brilliant. To? Well, I think we've talked a lot about the amount of changes over the weeks Liverpool have had to make in personnel. So that's one factor in terms of players building relationships. Some players are lacking physically because they missed pre-season. Yeah. So, and of course, when you lose a couple of games and you're playing for a huge club like Liverpool, sometimes the pressure for any player can overcome them and therefore their performance drops. But the biggest thing for Liverpool is, compared to last season, the lack of composure. You know, the controlling games they've lost. Palace, they played better today than they did at Palace, which is saying something. And midweek wasn't particularly good, but they had no control in those three games. And that's the thing I think fans are looking at going, how can we go from a team that's composed and controlled to then one that's playing basketball and could be in... It's like Keegan's Newcastle of old, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and as Arne Slot said, it actually could have gone either way in the end, Glenn. But Chelsea took all 3 points. It was a great late goal. But let's take it back to the beginning and have a look at Caicedo's goal because it was beautiful.
Special. A special goal, this really is. I mean, they work it really well, Chelsea. They get outnumbered Liverpool in midfield and Caicedo's little first touch there sets it up beautifully. Nobody comes out from Liverpool's defence to close him down, so he sets it yet again and then the strike is just wonderful. It doesn't move at all. Sometimes, you know, when these balls fly and they move, it goes straight as an arrow. It's a poor defensive work from Liverpool, and I think that's where there's a slight problem in there. They might look at that over the long term, putting a defensive-minded player in there at some stage because they were too open.
When you see them both fly out when the ball was being played, and then Virgil dropping back, this is why he has that touch, and then he's able to have a second touch to really set himself to really hit a clean strike because there's a lot of time he's got there. And too much time for a team of Liverpool's stature to be given a player.
How did you see things from a Liverpool perspective for that goal?
Yeah, poor. I mean, there's always mistakes when somebody scores, but they were pretty basic ones. It actually, the first half, I thought Chelsea started a bit tensively and gave Liverpool a bit too much respect, but when they grew in confidence and they started trying to find the extra man in the middle of the pitch, quite a clever move playing Gusto in there in some ways. But Liverpool got caught going towards the ball and left that space behind. But then Van Dijk has a decision to make, and he makes the wrong one. But we are focusing on minor details. It's a horrific goal.
That's fabulous.
Sometimes you concede by a really beautiful strike. The reaction is what's most important. And after that goal in the first half, it wasn't a great reaction. It was only second on where Liverpool really started trying to go after Chelsea. And
you know what I think as well, Dan, is that teams watching Liverpool now, remember that they're seeing blood now, so teams will say, let's have a go at them. And what I saw from them midfielders, like you pointed out, and Dan, with them just springing and going, when they can't really get there to close down, if you're quick enough and you've got that 1-2 round the corner, with the defence dropping off like that, Liverpool could have a lot of trouble with teams.
Well, we saw a bit of a change. Wirtz came on at half-time and then Gakpo levelled the score, with Isak with the assist here. Did he mean it?
No, I think even he'd have to admit that he was trying to bring the ball down. Liverpool got in some really good areas, which they should with the amount of quality they've got on the pitch. This one actually was a bit of luck. You know, you try and bring it down and it falls to Gakpo. He was poor today, but he got himself in a great position because when you play wide, you've got to get yourself in central areas to try and score goals, and he does that reasonably well. But this bit of fortune got them back in the game. And then from there, as we've heard from the managers, it could have gone either way. Go on, Glenn.
It's a good lesson, though, isn't it, for wide players to get on the blind side of fullbacks.
Yeah.
Because then they've got a job to do. They've got to open their body up, or they've got to keep glancing over their shoulder. We see it again with the Chelsea winner. But at the end of the day, Gakpo's got really in that blind position, and he couldn't see him, couldn't pick him up.
And that's good play from Gakpo.
Yeah.
Like you say, Dan, he didn't have a great game, but like he brought him back in it. And this is where I was surprised with Liverpool, because I'm thinking it's not going great. Why don't they take the steam out of Chelsea a bit, take something out of the game for a team that's champions? They know how it works, but you know, it was like Danny said, it's a basketball game.
And Wrighty, there must be no better feeling for any player to score in the very last minute of a game, and that's exactly what happened with Estevao, young 18-year-old.
I've done it a few times.
Of course you have,
It's
Wrighty.
a beautiful thing.
Talk us through this one.
But again, you know, you look down that left side where they were so prominent, Chelsea, especially with Cucurella, and again he's gone off of Salah, and once he gets into this situation, it's at the back there, Estevao. And on Andy Robinson, for his experience, I'm very, very surprised that he's not opened up more. He's not looked. He's not seen him. He's actually looking at the other player.
Just there on that shot, you can see Gravenberch is 5 yards deeper than Van Dijk. Now, he's dropped into central defence because Canate's had to come off. Yeah. Maybe could have put Gomez on there. There's the Salah and Cucurella thing. I mean, we could have done this 30 times in the game, maybe more. Now, to be fair to Salah, we talked about this. It might be the manager saying, let him go, but I don't think any manager would say, let him go continually when he keeps causing us problems.
You can't. Particularly in the defensive third, when there's going to be a threat to your goal. You know, but I think we've got to say that Chelsea is missing a lot of players. It's lovely feeding
defensively,
the 18-year-old, but defensively they're missing a lot of players. They've got their talisman out, Palmer. He's been their best player since he's been there. You know, people like that. So that's a fantastic result for Chelsea. It really is. Although they were at home, expected to win maybe, but you have to go out and do it, and they did it.
Well, we saw what it meant to Estevao to score that goal. Let's hear from him now. He was speaking post-match to Alex Aljo.
Estevao, parabéns, congratulations, marcou seu primeiro gol da Premier League. You just scored your first Premier League goal. Como você se sente? How are you feeling?
Bem, me sinto muito bem, estou muito feliz. Agradeço a Deus por esse momento que eu estou vivendo, agradeço a minha família, meus companheiros de time, minha comissão técnica, que me ajudou a estar aqui desenvolvendo meu melhor futebol dentro do Chelsea. Então, estou muito feliz.
He said, I'm so happy, I'm grateful to God, to my family, to all my teammates, to the coaching staff, to everyone that helping with my football here, and I'm so happy that I've just scored my first goal. E qual foi a sua mensagem do treinador saindo do banco? When you came off the bench, what was the message from your manager to you?
Bem, ele me falou para sempre que eu pegar a bola, ir para cima do adversário, ficar aberto aqui para tentar fazer jogada, para tentar ajudar o time. Então, essa confiança que ele me passa, essa confiança que ele acredita em mim, é incrível. Fico muito feliz por isso e espero que seja o primeiro de muitos gols e jogos.
He said he has so much confidence in me. He told me to come on to play my game to try and score, and well, that's what I did, so I'm so happy for him and all the belief that Enzo Maresca has in me. Como vai a sua adaptação na Premier League? How are you feeling? Are you adapting well in the Premier League?
Está sendo muito boa, gradualmente, de pouco em pouco, de passo a passo. Agradeço muito aos meus colegas de time, à comissão técnica, que todos os dias nos treinamentos têm me ajudado bastante. Minha família aqui em casa também tem me ajudado bastante. Então agradeço muito a Deus e com certeza está sendo melhor do que eu esperava.
He said things have gone a lot better than I expected. I'm feeling really good in training every day. My teammates are helping me, the coach is helping me, and also it's really helpful that I have my family here as well, and that's helped me settle in here in England and in the Premier League. Estevão, parabéns, congratulations.
Thank you.
Inglês. Como vai inglês? How's your English going?
Tá saindo, tá melhorando um pouquinho ainda. I'm very happy.
Oh, here we go, there we go. Some brilliant English there from Estevão. Congratulations.
Lovely interview. He's only 18 years old as well, and it's such a special moment for him. Second youngest Brazilian to score in the Premier League. The youngest was Rafael from Man United.
We'd have been here all night.
Who wouldn't have got that? No chance.
Bit of trivia for you there, but look, it is a special moment, and I'm sure you remember well your first Premier League goal. It's just a moment that will stay with him forever.
Yeah, and such a big game. You can see how Chelsea celebrated there, because Chelsea themselves, I don't even know what Chelsea's priority is in respect of what they're trying to achieve this season. We know how many players they're collating. We know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to get the young players in and keep them in, get them a system, and then they could go on and maybe challenge. What they keep buying more players. I mentioned about the wingers they've bought, and then the wingers they've sold. Like they've got rid of wingers, and they've brought people in like Gittins, like Garnacho, and they got rid of who was it? They got rid of Jackson and Madueke, and you think, well, is that an upgrade? And you just feel like they just seem to be going in circles, but. We can see that they've got something can happen with them. They've got some quality if they can get some leadership in there.
Yeah, I think they need a bit more experience at the back there if they can at times. But, as I said, they were in that unit, there were a lot of injuries in that defensive unit where they look a bit fragile anyway, but today they got over the line against the champions. So it's a good sign for them.
And a big confidence boost for them. On the other hand, Liverpool, now that's 3 defeats in a row in all competitions. That's the first time in, 2.5 years. International break. After that, it's Manchester United.
It's actually a great game because the atmosphere will look after itself being against United at Anfield. And the players need to respond. We can talk about the manager and tactics and all these different things. The reality is the quality of players Liverpool have, they need to do better. Too many of them are below par right now. And I'm not too concerned just yet. I think sometimes you need a little jolt, a little kick up the backside. Things have gone amazingly well for Slot since he's come through the door. And this is really the first little blip and question mark and test.
Probably good that it's happening earlier on in the season as well.
Maybe,
yeah. I think so.
Yeah. OK.